right, let's take a look at this clip where a Republican man in Michigan uses the megaphone of a local newscast to make a point about responsiveness to COVID. I almost got swayed until the end, and then I remembered, oh, right, Trump has infected the minds of millions of Americans, and we somehow have to get out of this. Let's take a look at this clip real quick.
The details on why the judge said no.
You're here on this cafe?
Tavarius, is everything okay?
Okay. My government leaders have abandoned me.
Are you the owner?
$4 trillion of stimulus money. They gave it to who? Special interest groups and campaign donors. I'm Dave Morris. I own the place.
So what's going on?
What's going on? You know what's going on.
Tell me. You tell me.
Hey, we got a government that has taken the stimulus money. They gave it to special campaign donors. They gave it to special interests. They abandoned me, and they have put me in a position where I have to fight back. Okay?
So do you feel that this is the right thing to do?
Absolutely. I feel everybody needs to stand up. Hey, listen, there was enough money to give every family in this country $20,000 to go home for 2 months. They chose to give it to special interests and campaign donors, the Kennedy Space Center, and they abandoned us. So you could have given me money. I'd gladly walk away for 60 days and let this virus settle down. I'm not going to do it alone. Okay?
Are you going to continue to violate the state's orders and stay open?
State order. This isn't an order. This is a conspiracy. This is a tyranny.
What do you want to tell other restaurant owners who...
Wake up. Stand up. This is America. Be free. I got patriots coming out supporting me.
I think what's so fascinating about this is he recognizes a big chunk of the problem, but then the Trump brainwashing swoops in and it's like, I'm a patriot. We got to keep things open. But he did say, I would gladly shut this down. And if Trump had shut it down initially, shut down the country, or recognized that we had a crisis in December, or funded the CDC instead of gutting it, we would be in a very different situation globally if Trump had actually stepped up. Rep Rab, I see you nodding your head.
Yeah. Now the ball is in, will soon be in the Biden administration's court. What are they going to do? They need to pay people to stay at home. And they need to enforce these restrictions. For those folks who call themselves patriots, and they talk about freedom, and they talk about personal responsibility and self-reliance, where are these people when it comes to the worst pandemic this nation has ever seen? Where are they? 102 years ago, there were a federal campaign with posters talking about it's patriotic to wear masks. These were not liberals. Where is that patriotism? When you're talking about patriotism, is connected to nationalism, right? So if you believe in your nation, then you probably don't want to be supportive of the greatest villain, other than fascism, to the actual strength and health of this country, which is this pandemic. And when we talk about 9/11, it eclipses 9/11, right? And yet there's no connection to people's political ideology with regard to doing what's best for your own country, not for your party, not for your ethnic group, not for whomever. And it's disingenuous, it is disgusting, and it is the nature of the problem we face today, because they are vaccinated from truth or enlightenment or self-reflection, and we got to deal with it. And I guess the last point I want to make is what appears to be Biden's approach to bringing people together is the absolute wrong way to go about this. It is the absolute, it's not about coming to the middle about people who don't believe in science and those of us who do. That's absurd. We can't embrace civility until we embrace truth and justice. And we can't do that if folks aren't willing to meet us halfway, and they're not, because they are set in their ways. And this is pre-Trump, right? This is Tea Party stuff, 2010. And the Tea Party was, informed by things leading up to 2010. So this is just the genealogy of batshit crazy.
The genealogy of batshit crazy. Arun, you're an expert in messaging. What Rep Rab just said about the patriotism of wearing a mask and that there were signs out there, I am really surprised, even if it comes from private organizations, health organizations, World Health Organizations, I'm just really surprised, like there's very little effort other than maybe like a Hollywood star putting on a mask and like doing an Instagram video, effort to just inform folks about their personal response, just what Rep Rab said. And then with that being said, like how does the Biden administration undo this toxicity, this brainwashing that is really pulling our society down right now? I mean, our global society, because the US is an impact on the world, folks travel places, et cetera. And just every community in this country is even on the Democratic side. I mean, how many lawmakers this week that are Democrats are out there having dinner and taking trips to Acapulco or wherever it was that they went, right after they say that the mayor of Austin said that he was going to be shutting down Austin. Then he takes a trip to Cancun or Mexico, wherever it was.
No, that's the point. You put your finger right on it. And I want to expand on what Rab said in a way, which is that we have plenty of nationalism in the country, but we don't have a patriotic effort like we did in End of World Wars or whatever, because nationalism plus faith equals patriotism. That's the missing ingredient. And people have absolutely no faith in their government institutions on either side. Let's not forget that the Trump mandate was not to succeed at anything. It was just to prove them wrong. Prove all the jerks who ever told you that they were smarter than you about something wrong. And obviously, he works hard at that every day. So I do think that, there needs to be more bipartisan ownership of this, but it doesn't matter. Biden just needs to make sure that checks go out, because that is the only measurable way. He is actually writing checks of faith to people. He will be restoring people's faith that this government is worth supporting, that they can believe that it will do something. Because that's the difference between now and 1945 and 1965 and 1985 and 2005. Right? It doesn't matter. There is just a steady decline in the trust of any of these institutions. And so from a messaging standpoint, the only person who I've seen sort of do this was when Trump insisted on putting his name on the check. Because you take this fellow in Michigan, and the last time he saw some money, it was a check signed by Donald Trump. So if Biden wants to counteract that, just do some math. Make a real check that actually counts for something and put your name on it.
Do you think BlackRock will let that happen, though? Council of Economic Advisors? Yeah, right. Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.